Okay, so tonight we're going to cover the January the 19th day at the fundamental. So we're going to get into some divine wisdom here. Let's see. Now this preacher's name happened to also be Mike, but this isn't the same, quote, Mike. This is the actual invited preacher. So he started off with, what does it mean to live a Christian life? And quotes, God's word means what it says, fundamentalist. So, which I respond in here, claims God's word says, love thy enemies. Immediately I'm like, ironic how many enemies, quote, did God show love to by destroying cities and people he wasn't pleased with. Quote, I was like, love? Like, define love. Like, oh good, now I also had a separate note. Oh good, finally somebody to preach from the Old Testament. I was getting ill of people saying, read the New Testament. That's the Old. So at least that it made it easier for me on this case. So then they had their prayer deal, which I also had something to say about with this, which I generally feel bad for these people as their prayers fall on deaf ears, meaning like even if their God was right, so many people in pain looking for a war god of the Bronze Age for compassion. So like even if you took it at face value and assumed that Bible God was real, who are they looking for compassion? Like that? No. Quote, if you can't beat them, join them. I'm not sure what he was referring to that. Makes points about people who take shortcuts to get ahead. Okay, I think he was trying to make a poke at like atheists. Oh yeah, here we go. Mentioned how atheists and, quote, God haters get ahead can be upsetting. Makes them question their faith. Oh, makes Christians question their faith by seeing non-Christians getting ahead in life. Claims this, quote, the serpent whispers in their ears. So this is where I said, like, is it the serpent or is it reason? Then he reads a passage. I don't remember exactly what passage he read. Claims that instead of taking life in your own hands and being self-responsible, is my rephrasing of it. But yeah, instead of taking life in your own hands, you should pray and wait for God to take care of things. So while I don't remember what it was that he looked, what specific passage, I tried to look up something as similar as I can. And what I did find, I don't know if this is what he read. However, when I typed it into Google search, I got a couple of them, but one specifically stood out, and it was Psalm 27:14. So, when you look at Psalm 27, let's see here, where does it say that? There you go. 27, verse 14, says, wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thy heart. Wait, I say, wait on the Lord. So, yeah, that's as close as I could find to this, but I can tell you as someone as an ex-Christian, like, what happens, right? One of two things. They'll say, well, God always answers prayers, right? I've heard this line before. And sometimes the answer is no. So what? So when the answer is no, you just get no answer? Like, an answer no isn't no answer. You still can give some kind of signal. So like that, I got hung up on that when I did believe. I'm like, well, then tell me fucking no then. Like, don't just say nothing, because that's not an answer. That's the same thing as just leaving it up to chance. If it works, then it was in his plan. If it doesn't work, then it wasn't his plan. Then what was the fucking point of praying in the first place? Like, you might as well act on what you want and work toward those goals yourself, because at least then you have a chance. If you just sit and wait, you wait your fucking life away. So, if you want something, be goal-orientated. Work toward that goal. So yeah, okay, so here I go. You mean leave your life to chance. God has nothing to do with it. People living their own lives, there is more to chance than, there's more to chance in hard work, which is essentially what I just said. Why would God let others have success and advantages we desire? So again, immediately the pastor is, boo-hooing, playing victim. Why is God letting these people have... Who says God is having... even if you wanted to pretend for a second that this guy, the Bible existed, immediately, this very statement is claiming victim. Why would God let them succeed to what? To challenge you? Okay. Makes claim that there is an end to both the behavior... makes claim that there is an end to both the believer and non-believers. Talks... threat of hell. Essentially talks about... there you go. Heaven and hell is the carrot and stick routine. Don't be like those who are angry, saying, enjoy it while it lasts. Claims his God has no needs. I'm not really sure what he meant by that. Let's see here. Yet he commands... let's see here. Yeah. Says he has no needs, yet he commands you to just have, quote, faith on unprovable claims, or you will be tortured forever. How can you just have faith on claims and, not be willing to back anything up? Claims life comes from, quote, only God. So, we have only one life that we can prove. And this goes for whether you're atheist or have a particular belief system or not. While I feel like we need to earn our own way in life and be by honest work, quote, God doesn't help you, but rather the belief system blinds so many. So, and I mean that not just in the denial of science, but for example, telling people to wait rather than to actually make goals and work toward them. Not all Christians are like this, I say that, my friend made a good point, and it's not just my friend that's pointing this out. Other atheist channels have pointed out that you compare different belief systems as far as not just pagan and Christianity and Luciferian. I mean just Christianity in general. If you break those into sections, Jehovah's Witness don't see the same way as Catholics and so forth. They're almost their own sector belief system. So when it comes to fundamentalists, they're easier to pick on, but different versions still blind in different ways. I guess is what I'm trying to get at. And yeah, to be aware of that. Yeah, essentially a sense of control to manipulate, to keep people to do what essentially groupthink, right? Claims obedience and delighting yourself in God's way brings joy. See, again, God's way. Who decides who's God's way? It depends on the pastor and the way that they're interpreting it, right? That's... claims understanding whose God is and having a personal relationship brings joy and peace. So, having a personal relationship, again, that's... how does one define that? How are you going to have a personal relationship with something that's, depending on what church you go to, depends on what perspective they have. It's based on their perception, not yours. That's like Uncle Jesus saying, script yours, because you're either writing your own script or you're following theirs. If you read it for what it is, it's not nearly as charming as they made it out to be. So, finish this one off. So I said, wow, I couldn't disagree more. The more I learn about the Bible, I just pretty much said that. The more I learn about the Bible really says, instead of what the preachers cherry pick, only disgusts me. The God character of the Bible is a hateful, disgustful, bloodthirsty, war-loving God, easily angered and revengeful. So, yeah, I'll leave it at there tonight, and hopefully by this time next week, I'll have a really awesome surprise for everybody. I won't give any hints, because you won't be able to guess it. I should be able to... it'll be shocking for everybody, but it'll be awesome. like maybe 2 people know what it is. So, I'll catch you later.